Custom Pool Pros, if you think about the name, there's nothing standard about the pool that Tom and his team put in here. We went with Tom because really we needed somebody who could do a gunite pool that was flexible, that knew all the rules and regulations, and had a ton of experience in this space, and that's what we got. It's easy to try to go cheap, but when you're doing a project this big, you really got to think about the long term, and ultimately went with gunite, went with the custom finish, which was polished quartz, and ultimately went with travertine, which not cheap, but I'll tell you, it's really great because it doesn't get too hot, it's not slippery, and we just found that relative to other friends who've done pools with other builders, that ultimately the quality of the materials, the quality of the work is really top notch. Tom was extremely responsive from the outset, from when I inquired about putting a pool into, making each decision along the way. Tom was just great at advising on past experience, and I took him up on his offers to suggest a whole series of things in terms of integrating with my existing patio, as well as where to put all the utilities. Yeah, it's great. It's small in the scheme of things. It's the biggest one we could fit, but it heats up really fast. Putting in the spa and raising it was a great decision. And we're out here all the time. I think as they get a little bit bigger, we're not going to be swimming laps for the Olympics out here, but it's just a great cool-off pool, and kids have a blast, and really just them and their friends are always out here enjoying it. I think they all became great swimmers pretty quickly. They're pretty young. Right now they're 7, 10, and 11, but when we put this in, they were, I think, 5, 6, 8, and 10. And just getting that life skill of being able to swim on your own, and just constantly asking if they could have their friends over, and seeing them out here for 6, 8, 10 hours in a day, it's just been spectacular, because it really gives you something special to do in your own environment without having to travel anywhere else, and then inviting friends and family over. I guess the only other key memory, aside from the day-to-day memories, was we had hosted a Christmas in July with my wife's family. Because when you think about it, lots of family events weren't able to take place over the last several years for multiple reasons, and so having Christmas in July in the backyard with about 45 people was just a great experience for everybody. It's great for after a long day of sports, just to come home, jump in, cool off. Even just hanging around by the pool, it's also just changes the whole environment up. You can see behind me, we have really the gravity-free waterfall there, which it just creates a different environment feeling, spa-like experience essentially back here. Even just smoking a cigar or having a beer, it's spectacular. Yeah, the crews were great. Probably some of the hardest working people I've ever seen. Obviously, they're going to have to watch the weather closely, and rain, temperature can definitely mess up a well laid out plan, but they were here. Tom communicated regularly. We always tried to have conversations with the builders themselves, who actually have a lot of experience as well, and so there's a few, and Carlos and Berto were awesome at just advising on a variety of things, from design, color choice, shape, all that. And so even little things that you don't realize you have to pick for a custom pool like this is what depth do you want, and how do you want to shape the depth and the slope. And so here we went from, I think, 3.5 feet all the way to almost 6, which we did and weren't sure how it was going to turn out, but that also turned out great. So we kind of have a deep end, but nothing too deep. Yes, I would definitely recommend Custom Pool Pros to friends and family. I've done that. I've shared this pool with a couple other potential customers, and I'm happy to do so in the future.